Hello and good morning. Welcome to another Top Producer webinar here. Just let me get my camera set up properly so I'm framed properly. I have a standing desk, so sometimes I adjust whether I'm standing or sitting, and it takes a bit of time to get the camera reorganized. So today we are going to go over the 4 things you'll want to know after you've set up your Top Producer X. And I do see that we have one person here for us today. So Michael, you're getting a show directed just to yourself. We do appreciate you swinging by to hang out with us today. If you have any questions, reach out, let us know. My name is Glenn, and I do have my friend and associate Marvin helping us out in the chat. So if you do want to help out or reach out to us, you can just always come here and click onto the chat option and we'll reach out to us. So we're going to go over a few things. If you have any questions, Michael will definitely be able to answer them. So fire away at any questions you get. And even if we derail from the normal scheduled presentation, we can definitely do that to help you out. One thing we do like to always let people know about is that we do have our customer care team here to help. You can access that anytime you want by going down into the bottom right-hand corner of any of your Top Producer softwares, or even going to Top Producer or support.topproducer.com, and there's an option there to go to live chat as well. They are available Monday to Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you do have questions that are not time critical, meaning that you don't have to have the answer in the next 5 or 6 minutes, you can reach out to our team via email at support@topproducer.com. Please allow 24 to 48 hours for an answer on this because it is a very popular way of getting support and assistance, so it does get a lot of emails to it. Our team does everything they can to get them answered as quick as possible, but it's a little bit harder on email than it is on other aspects, since we also do so many other things to help everyone out. So today I'm going to go over 4 pretty simple and easy things to do that are going to help you get your database up and running and get everything going. We will start with organizing your contacts using statuses and types. Now, if you've seen our introduction to Top Producer X webinars, you'll know that we go over this very quickly, but I'll go over it a little bit more. How you can simplify your database management using our follow-up coach, which is a really helpful and really useful tool that will allow nobody to fall through the cracks. Another way to easily communicate with your clients, and then ways to record details and schedule tasks. So with that, I will be doing both slides to demonstrate and then, or slides to explain, and then demonstrations directly in Top Producer X. So first off, contact statuses and types really are a great way to organize your people into different buckets or groups so that you can make sure that you're communicating with the ones that are in specific areas and making sure that you are tailoring your communication to those people that need things. New leads, active buyers or sellers, past clients, all of those, we have everything organized and covered for you on that. The pipeline statuses are something that are pretty interesting and cool to have in the system, and I'll go over how they are used and what they're actually used for. Contact types, though, those are going to be one of the game changers that are going to make organization of a database so much easier and make things so much cleaner. So let me jump over into my Top Producer X. So the first thing I'm going to start with is the contacts and the contact statuses. I do like to go over these in a pretty good flow just to make sure that it's easier to see and easier to understand. So new is always going to be any new contacts you get from your lead providers. Let's say you've got leads coming from Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com, or even your own website. They can flow in and they will all end up in the new tab. You also notice you have a spot here where you can have a follow-up reminder. So anytime you click on this tab, you're going to see somebody that you might not have followed up with for a bit. As you can see, I put myself in as probably the 4th time into the system while doing a demo the other day, and now I haven't actually done anything with that. So I'm getting a reminder and being told that I'm overdue. But this is where you want to check every day. And honestly, the less people you have in here, at the end of your day, the better, because that means you've actually had a chance to engage with those new contacts. Now, that's a good segue into the fact that engage is the next contact pipeline status. Engage are the ones that we usually assume, well, sorry, I don't like the word assume, but these are the ones that you've reached out to for the first time. You may still be getting a feel for what they're looking for, what they need, and whether or not they're actually going to become a client now, or they may be a client in the future. The advantage of this is you're still able to find out who's going to be working with them, because you can set it up to be different members of your team. You can actually assign contacts to different members. But let's just say you've got somebody who is interested right now, but they haven't secured their financing. This is a perfect time to move them over to future. Now you're going to notice I have 910 people in my future. The reason for that is any import you do, just any data imports with a CSV, automatically end up in future. The reason for this is future is the best place to categorize your contacts if you don't exactly know where they need to be. So then you can go through them and move them to the appropriate statuses. But future is also a good place to put people who are not ready to work with you just yet, maybe looking for that financing, or may just be curious what the market looks like, and if it is actually a good time to sell or buy. So use that one as a good place to put people that are there for the future. Now, active, that's the one you want people to be in. This means that as soon as you've put them into active, they're ready to go. They want to work with you. They want to see exactly what we can do to help them. They want to see just how quickly they can either sell their house or buy a new place. As we've noticed for the last couple of years, that was usually pretty quick. I don't know. I know the market is slowing down a bit, but you still do have those quick turnarounds. So getting somebody into active is definitely a want. You want to have them there. More people you have in here, the better. And then finally, the big bag of money at the end. I love this icon of the money bag here. So once you finalize it, you've helped them buy or you've helped them sell, not sale, help them sell their home. You can put them into the closed category. That way, you know that you've finished up, you've finalized everything, and now it's a good time to put these people into, the best way to put it is your back pocket. This is now the group that you're going to be marketing to in a way of looking for repeat business down the road or referrals. We all know the average time somebody stays in a home is 7 years. So you want to make sure you're maintaining communication with those folks that you've sold to, so that when it is time for those 7 years to come up and they want to buy a new house, they're not going to look anywhere else but to you. So those 5 statuses are very important ones to have. Now I'm going to grab myself and I'm going to show you 2 others that are super important: inactive and non-client. The reason for these ones, let's say you've got a contact that you've worked with a few times, but they move out of the state or province, depending on which country you're in. If all of a sudden they've moved, you want to set them to inactive. This means you don't take them out of your database. You just have them there because they may come back in the future. They may have had an opportunity to move out, and then they'll probably come back in the future because it's their home. Keep them there, and then once they do come back, you would be able to add them in. Non-client is also another one that's good for your vendors, your fellow realtors, or even the gardener or the handyman you have to help stage a home. Those ones are really good to have. And I did see your question there, Michael. I'm going to answer that directly. Can you add a status? These statuses are the ones that we have put in. Unfortunately, they can't be re-added to. However, that's where contact types come in. So that's a good question, a great question. I can even show you how to use something as like a contact type that you can then put it onto your dashboard so it would look like it was a status. So let's see here. I've got my account, I've got my contact up, and I have a couple of contact types on it. So you see it's got a gardener and Heather demo, because one of my fellow webinar hosts named Heather, we do demos a lot together. So we've created a Heather demo. Since I have my friend Marvin here today, I'm going to use his name. So what you do is for a contact type, you would edit your contact. Go down here and find the contact status and contact types area. Now, if you click in here, you're going to get a list of all the contact types you have used before. If you don't have it in there, you just start typing. So you can pick anything. So I'm just going to say, Marvin, this is the way. We put that in, and now this contact has that contact type. Now, there are other ways to add a contact type as well. Let's just say I need to have a few more people on that one. I'm going to grab, let me go over here to my recent. That's the ones I want. I'm going to add Moobell, and there are Snowman and these. And then, again, you'll notice I have a contact type up here. Let's add Marvin, this is the way, to those ones. So now all these contacts are going to have that contact type. One thing that we can do now is you're going to see I have a managed tabs. We're going to create a tab. We're going to do it by contact type. Marvin demo. And then you'll notice you can choose your contact types. And you'll notice I spelled that wrong. So it then all of a sudden told me right off the bat that I don't have that one. But it is quick. It is smart enough to know by typing. So let's do that. Now I have created a Marvin demo status. You can still have this up here. You can move it around like everything else. And you have it here. And you'll notice all 4 of the people that I have selected now have the contact type in their contact record. And they're also part of this specific status. Now, let's say this is your A group. I like to choose the different ones. So this is your A group. You can always have it as long as they have the contact type. You have this along the top that you can use. Now, I'm going to show you that you can actually, as you can see, I can move it around. The ones that you create, you can actually also delete. So, sorry, Marvin, you're going in the trash, bud. When you want to get rid of the contact type or tab that you've created, you just drag it off. Hold your mouse and drag. When it goes red like that or pink, let go. It'll ask if you want to delete it. And you can always recreate it anytime. So sorry, Marvin, you're gone. Now, excuse me, that's a quick and easy way to do that. Again, these are editable. You can move them around. So I like to usually put new at the front. I usually put all here at the end, just because this is just all of my contacts. You can just find everybody there, but these 5 are the ones that are important. And again, if you create a tab, let's say I have a contact type of buyer, and I can use the buyer contact type. You'll see I have 74 of them. I may even want to move them in before, right after new, because I might be buyers, might be my prime source of work. Again, I've created it. If I pull it off, I can delete it and I can recreate it at any time. So that's the closest thing we have to creating new statuses. The different contact types can be used for your specific needs. Again, as I mentioned, you do have specific ones that we have already put in, but you can make a new one as you want. So Marvin, this is the way. Or let's just say Glenn's demoing today. And there you go. I can make those, I can add those to any contact, and then I can re-add them again later. So it's always there for you, and it will always take care of any one of your needs. So those are a great way to organize things. Plus, when you need to search something, you can do a search. And you'll notice I start putting his name in. Marvin, this is the way it comes up. I grab it, and now I have the search of anybody in that contact type. It does require this precursor of is : that is something that will eventually go away, and it'll just allow you to have an option to search the contact types. It is a little bit of a quick little thing right now. Our search is always advancing and always changing. So hopefully we'll soon be able to get rid of that and you can just start searching as needed. So that is one of the great ways you can keep your database organized. Statuses and contact types, and creating your own types along the top. One thing, if you do add things up here and you move everything around and you want to get it back to the defaults, you click on this Manage Tabs button over here and reset tabs to default. This will put everything back, so you'll notice all is at the front and new is here. And if I had had any tabs that I had created, they would have also been removed. So make sure you only use that if you want to reset everything back to the beginning. So that is that section in a nutshell. Any questions on that one? I'll give it a second. I think hopefully that was answered the one question you had, Michael, about setting up the different statuses. Unfortunately, we don't have a way to do that. Okay, cool. And I do see that Carol showed up. How are you doing, Carol? Hope you're having a great morning, and thank you for joining us today on the webinar. The next one I'm going to go over is a section that I actually find very cool. Follow-up coach is one of those, I would say it's one of those more important items that often gets overlooked, but it shouldn't be overlooked and should be in everything. I'd like to have it in my day-to-day life as well. Let's just say we all get so busy. Excellent. Thanks, Carol. Yeah, everything's great here. We got told we were going to have snow. Fortunately, it didn't show up yet that I know of. I don't want snow. I've had enough. But anyways, the follow-up coach is one of those things that, let's just say, it will make sure nobody in your database ever falls through the cracks. And I know we say right there in the slide there, but it's a way to make sure that you have a quick follow-up option and suggestions for who to reach out to in your database, just to help keep up with that name recognition, brand recognition, and even just to follow up with people that during your time working with them, you may have become friends with. So this is, like I state, one of the cooler tools we have out there. Every day, I would actually recommend this every morning because it's something you can actually do in the morning while having your morning coffee or morning tea, or even just waking up. It's that good. And the advantage is you can actually use it on any size screen. So let's say you wake up in the morning and while you're having your coffee, you grab your tablet. You could be doing this on your tablet or even on your smartphone. The advantage of the follow-up coach, every day, it's going to give you 5 people. You'll notice the last action of 2022, one day ago, 2021, shortly back. There's specific reasons that these ones come up. Now, I hope nobody has anybody who says last action, August 11th, 2021, because if you've got that, you might want to reach out to that person and they may or may not remember you. I like to say this is the reason why I'm a tech and not a realtor, because my follow-up game is really not on point. But let's just say you do get into this every morning. You have 5 people here. I like to jokingly say if a realtor only works 300 days of the year, you would be able to connect with 1,500 people. I know most of you are probably closer to working 360 days of the year because you kind of have very pushy clientele because it's the biggest investment of their life. 360 days a year, you're getting closer to 1,800 contacts a year. I have 942 in this test account. If I were to go through this every day for 360 days, I'm going to have had a chance to communicate with every single person in my database twice in a year, give or take. I have 942, so it would be a little bit less. Now, let's say we want to do a follow-up. So I've got this one contact here. I'm just going to grab Brandon here, Potter Brandon. One thing I do want to say before I go on, there's a skip button here. Ignore that. Pretend it doesn't exist. The skip button means the contact just goes to the very end of the list. The list actually has at the most 180 days before somebody shows up. That's usually for your past clients or sphere of influence. Reminds you every 60 or 6 months to talk to them. If you click on skip, it goes to the very end of that. But let's just say I want to follow up with this contact. I just click on their name, and I'm going to actually move them to non-client because this is actually a coworker. So I'm going to add myself a note. Added to non-client as they are a coworker. And then just save the note. I've done all this. I'm going to mark it done. And I can make a note on the way out saying updated contact status. Once I save the wrap up and I go back to my follow-up coach, I have one with a check mark on it. I have just, in a matter of seconds, basically, I have updated one contact. I have made sure that one person has an update on it. Let's see, I'll grab another one just as another example. I'm going to grab this one right here. It's been a while, so why don't I reach out and give them a call? So I'm going to make a phone call, talk to Stanley, and he's like, yeah, I'm still not ready to do anything. I'm still looking for information. Go ahead and mark done. I did a phone call. Called Stanley. Still not ready to go to hit the market. Now, here's the thing. While I'm talking to him, I would have said, hey, why don't I give you a call in another couple of months, see how things are going, change it. He says, sure. So I'm going to schedule a follow-up. Say this is February, March. Let's go April. Today is the 16th, April 16th. Check on readiness. So now I'm going to save the wrap up. Not only have I had a chance to talk to Stanley, I've also had a chance to find out where his status is in the thing. So keeping him in future. So contact status won't change. But if I go over to my tasks here, tasks, not texting, helps if I click the right one. You'll notice I've set up a task for myself to follow up with this customer in 2 months. So in 2 months, I'm going to have another opportunity. I'm going to have another chance to reach out to this person. I have now, in the period of 2 minutes, taken care of 2 contacts in my database. Now, let's say, and I hope this doesn't happen, where you get sick to the point where you can still kind of work but can't leave the house. Perfect time to update your database and go through your contact or your follow-up coach. Here's the thing, I've done 2. We've got a button here that says refresh list. Go ahead and click on it. It will fix that up and bring 2 more in. One of my co-members on the onboarding team the other day was telling me that they had one client reach out to them and say, this is a great tool. They were able to catch up with a lot of their clients. They had a day where they didn't have any showings or anything. They did 100 contacts through the follow-up coach. It just made it so that they, instead of sitting there trying to figure out who you need to reach out to, you get this option and this list right away. Things to keep in mind. New contacts that go into your database are going to show up here in 1 day. Or sorry, new contacts show up within 3 days because we assume you've already seen them. Imported contacts, ones that you import through the system, they will show up here in 1 day. New contacts show up in 3. Your closed and sphere of influence will show up every 160 days. Your future contacts will show up every 120. And anybody who isn't falling into any of those categories will show up every 60 days. So we have you covered to make sure all of your clientele is being followed up with. And I love the term, nobody falls through the cracks. You're never going to forget or not reach out to somebody that you should have. And plus, it gives you just extra people to reach out to that you never know. They may not have been thinking about buying or selling. Reaching out and hearing from you, they may all of a sudden go, you know, it is a good time. So there you go. You might have a chance to create a referral or even a repeat business just by making that quick message. It also helps to clean up the database, of course. Keeping things organized is always going to make things a lot easier and make it a lot quicker for you to get through everything you're looking to do. Now, we do have templates. I was going to say texting because I happened to look down and see the word here. Now, if either of you are outside of the USA, I am sorry, we don't have texting outside of any other location. We're working on it. We'd like to offer texting everywhere. Do I have a timeline? Unfortunately, no. We will, granted, it is one of those things that as soon as it is available, we will be screaming it from the highest mountain to everybody that we have texting everywhere. That being said, though, you can use templates that we've created or even create your own. So when you send stuff out through email or text, if you're in the US, you don't have to type it up every time. If you have a specific message that you send, you can have a copy of it. And the best part is you won't have to go through and personalize it every time. The system will do that for you. So let me show you how that works. Over here under marketing, we have a spot here that says template library. Now we have all these different ones, but you'll notice some say new and personal. We have created a group of them that are here that if you click on one, you can actually see how it looks. And this part here, it might be looking a little bit weird to have an email that says, hi, contact.primaryperson.firstname. That probably I'd be concerned if somebody actually named somebody that. So I would probably never see that. I should do one in my database just for a laugh, but it would actually pull the name. So any name you have here, it is a merge code. So it pulls the information from your contact record. Another reason to make sure that contact record is fully up to date with most recent information and all the information connected. You can also have your name show up at the bottom, or if you want, you can just have your signature already created within Top Producer, so you don't have to have this. Now, since I do have a signature created, I don't need this down here. I can click on the button down here at the bottom that says Customize Template. Now, you'll notice I had clicked on the very first one, buyer taking a long time to decide. As you'll notice, I have a few others down here along the way for different items. Current buyer, current seller, events, lead conversion, past client, prospecting, request, and others. You'll notice all of them have the same information. So let's say I would like to have a new review on my testimonials. I want to change it up a bit. Let me hit Customize Template. Always put your name in front of it. And a lot of times, if you use symbols such as the number sign, you can get it closer to the top. It will always go up to the top. You've got a quick question here. Again, I have a signature within Top Producer, so I really don't need to have that. So I just highlight it and delete it. And here's another thing. It's going to have these square brackets, and it's asking if you be open-minded to leaving an online review, shooting a quick video. This is one of those things where you make the adjustments as you need. So I'm going to take out the shooting a quick video, but I'm just going to say open-minded to leaving an online review to share your experience working with me. I know it would help a lot of people just like you. I want to put a little bit more feeling into that instead of having it just being like that. And of course, as always, I always am very excited when I say thank you because I appreciate what people do. So I'm going to save this template. Let me slide down here to request. You're going to notice right here, right on the top, I have a new testimonial, Glenn Personal. It's new, it's personal. And if I need to make any adjustments, I can always click here on the edit button. Now, if I have to change anything, like I may want to put first name, last name, any of those items that I need, I would just go ahead and click right here, go back and put, well, why not just take full name? I could put full name there and then delete this. And then my delete button is making me go all the way through all of them. Make the space, go here, and then we're good. Let's save that template. Now, one thing I did mention before is we do have texting ones as well. You'll notice up here, email type just automatically goes to, or template type automatically goes to email. We have texting ones. Now, because I have a Canadian one, I would need to have assistance from, well, I would need to have an American number to do this, but we have them here. Michael, if you do have any issues, please reach out to our support team via our chat in the bottom right, which, because I abuse this account so much, it doesn't always show. But this is one of those things. Reach out to our support team. If you need help editing, customizing, and changing your templates, just reach out. Best to do it from within Top Producer, because it'll pull up the name, first name, last name, and the email on your account, just so that we can get you help quickly and be able to have your account information. If it's something that can't be handled through chat, we will do a phone call to you. But please keep in mind the phone calls out do tend to be within a 24 to 48 hour period, as well as like the emails. Chat is our main source of assistance because we can actually assist more people at a quicker time. And you can also get a copy of the answer so you can have it for future reference. But now that I've made that template, I'd like to use it. So I'm going to go to myself here and I'm going to send an email. Just wait a second while it tries to figure out. And you can see I've sent emails before. If I click here, so again, go to emails and then go to compose email. Now you'll notice it brings up my signature right away. It has from the desk of Glenn Doyle saying that I'm with TP Inc. My phone number, my email address, and just a little image that's my company logo. But I want to use a specific template for this email. So I'm going to click on here. Right off the bat, as I mentioned, by putting in the number sign, mine goes to the very top. So let me put that there. You'll notice it says, hi, contact first name. It's going to grab, or full name. Yeah, full name, first name. I love that house like that. That's probably why I messed up. But it's going to pull my name. And then when I send the email, it'll be perfectly fine. So there you go. That's all you do. You'll notice here, I have two of them. One shows as open and one shows as unopened or sent from third-party email client. This means this email has been sent out and I'm able to track to see which ones have or haven't been opened. This is a great addition to the system. It's a great addition to emails because now you can actually see who's reading your emails and help to determine what the follow-up processes are and how effective your marketing is. Now, let's say I wanted to send an email out to a few people. I need to get all of Marvin's people an email. I'm going to select all four of them. So I have 4 people here. I'm going to create a group email. I'm going to say, let me find one of the ones that I have that is good. A happy holidays. I'm going to select the template. You're going to see, excuse me, sorry. You're going to see that I chose 4, but one of them doesn't have an email address. So it's not actually going to be sent. Here's what the first one looks like. It's just going to say, hi, Brandon. And then 2023 is upon us with the holiday season fast approaching. As you can see, any of the questions that are here, they'll be sent to them. You can also customize this email if you need to make any changes for the group. The best part of this, it is going to create an individual email. So one email for this address, one for this one, and finally one for this email address. All of them are going to get their own emails. It's not going to have a CC or a BCC on it. So you don't have to worry about database mess ups where people get to see other email addresses. All in one, so 3 emails will be sent. And then this here, one excluded due to non-address or to no email address. Perfect way to realize that you need to double check and find the email address for that client. So because these are fake emails, except for one where if I sent this over to my coworker, he'd probably wonder what I was doing. So I'm not going to actually send it right now. So we just close out on that. but the templates are there to help you. You also have task plans. A lot of these are already set up in our system. You would just go to Browse Templates, click here, and you'll get a list of all the ones we have. You can grab one like Sphere here. It's going to give you a great opportunity saying in 90 days. Give them a call, check on it, set up a quarterly market snapshot. Day 180, send an email template based on current market conditions. 270, check in to say hi. 365, set up quarterly call reminder. You can see this, and if you don't like it, you can customize it. So I'm going to say Glenn Sphere, and then I'm going to name this Glenn Sphere as well. You'll notice I put a name up here for the template, but then changed it down here. The reason it does that is it's originally creating from the template of Sphere. But because of the fact that I've made a new plan type, a plan detail of name of Glenn Sphere, it automatically updates this and overwrites what I had done up there. That means you're not going to accidentally grab from the wrong template group. Go ahead and save the plan. And let's see here, we've got 90, 180, 270, and 365 different days that things can be done on. Let's say I want to add something in the middle. Go to day, I'm going to send an email. Let's see what this is. Just a hello. We're going to say 120. And I'm going to search a template, and where is my hello there? Let me find that. Seem to have lost, so I'll just grab one at random. And I hit save task, and there you go. I've added a new one right in the middle. And there you go. That's all that. I'm expecting my cute little dog to start barking any moment now because somebody in the house is having to walk around upstairs, and she's very suspicious. So I keep hearing these little ruff, ruff. So please forgive me if you happen to hear a dog barking. She just wants to be part of the presentation. She won't come to me for me to pick up and show you, but she might make her voice heard. So again, forgive me ahead of time if that happens. Now, along with these different types, let's see, I just created this one here. What if I want to edit the plan details and make it go up to the top like others do? Well, let's go in here and edit it, and let's change the name and put that number sign. Again, just like everything else, the ones you want to have the quickest and easiest to get to, put something like a number sign, a @ sign, or something like that so that you can get it quickly. We have 3 different types: the contact task plan, the lead response task plan, and the transaction. And I have it set on all, but let's say I want to see my lead response. Lead response is a pretty cool thing, and I got a little bit of time. I'm going to go over this for you. It's a newer feature that we really love that we have in here. We know you're getting leads from different locations. Again, I mentioned earlier, Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com, or even your own website. Well, let's just say anytime you get that lead, you want to be able to have it automatically spoken to. So we've created lead response plans. You'll notice these ones are actually a little bit different because they actually have times on them. So what happens is the moment you get a new lead, an email is sent right away. You'll notice here then 20 minutes later, you're suggested that you make a phone call. 50 minutes after that phone call, I'm going to follow up with a text saying, thanks for your time today. Now, here's one of the cool things about this. If you don't get a hold of them on the first call here, this text isn't going to go out. So you could send this here, the second follow-up call if you didn't connect the first time, or even the follow-up email. Anything, all of these actually flow based on the previous action. So if you don't mark the phone call complete, it's not going to go on to the text or the follow-up email. Once you have these, you do your lead response rules. I have this one here for Zillow buyers. very easy to make up. I just call it Zillow. When the source is Zillow, it'll come in. Contact type is a buyer. It's going to automatically attach a lead response plan. Now, if you're out in the middle, like Carol, at the beginning of this webinar, you were on a call. If you're on a call at that time and a new agent or a new agent, that's horrible discussion. If you're on a call and a new lead comes in, we all know you have to get to that lead as quickly as possible. But at the same time, you've got to take care of your clients that you're working with. While you're on the phone with the one client that already spoke to you, this lead is going to get an email and possibly a text message since you're down in the States to let them know, hey, I'm looking forward to speaking with you. When's a good time? That way, you're not having them, again, slip through the cracks. People will always be there and you'll always be able to communicate with them. And I do thank Marvin. He has been putting links to all the things that we're talking about here into our chat, so you can get more information from them. And I will also at the end of the webinar, show you where you can get all these quick videos and quick tutorials. I was trying to look for the best word there, sorry. But quick help, quick links, and quick ways to do most of the work you're looking for. So that was a very cool part of the system that we're really glad to have there and really glad to offer for you. Okay, Michael, I will answer that question because it will come into play. Leads can absolutely come into your system automatically. If you go down to the settings button here, you're going to see a lead providers button here. If you click on that, every top producer account has their own specific myleads.io email address. As you can see here, mine is gdtesttpx@myleads.io. Any provider I have, there's about 150 of them out there that actually have this working properly. But if I give this email to them or put it into my dashboard, usually under the email forwarding for the leads, it's going to send a copy of that lead to my CRM. I will get that lead and it's going to show up in my new. So let's say you'll notice, and you'll even be able to tell through this source button which one it came from. So you just have to make sure that you have that email address, put it in, and have it sent over. Carol, for your specific question about the lead provider your office uses, you would have to talk to the IT team. They're usually the ones that would be in charge of setting up all of that, or the office manager. They should be able to say, oh yeah, we're with this group and we can put it through. Now, a lot of times, a lot of the offices, they'll have the leads go to a specific administrator who will then pass them down to the different agents. Definitely talk to your team lead or the office manager to find out where to get that done, just so you don't ever miss out on a lead. Leads are the way to get people from being just a lead or a random person on the street to being a potential buyer or seller. So the more of them you get, the better options you have to get people taken care of, right? And let's go to the last topic I have on this. We have a couple of very cool items in here that and I know I keep saying things are very cool, but I really do think they're cool items that help out, and I get a lot of great feedback on how they have helped. But let's say you want to record anniversaries for people that you have just finished a sale with. This purchase date, you maybe even want to get their birthdays in there so you can send a birthday card down the way. Or if you're working with a buyer who hasn't finished yet, they might be out driving around and see a house and send you an address or even an MLS ID number. You now have a way to pull that into their contact record, so you have on their record a comparable right away. Makes it easy to save notes and even set up the tasks that you need for the future. So I'm going to jump back into my top producer, and I'm going to jump over to a contact here. Now, let's use myself again. I'm going to abuse myself here. You'll see I have a next important date, a day off of February 23rd, 2023. I am looking forward to sleeping in that day, but that's coming next week. But what if I have more important dates down the road? What if I need to say, put in a anniversary? I'm going to choose my actual anniversary. So June 28th. And I'm going to have this repeat annually. You notice I have the wedding ring there to say anniversary. It's a really good thing I remembered the actual date because my wife is in the same room as me right now since we work from home. And if I had said the wrong date, I would not be doing the next webinar next week. A little bit of horrible humor there. She would never do anything like that. Just trying to throw some fun in there. This is where you can get everything. You can even put birthdays. I'm going to put my dog's birthday in here. So we picked her up on the 25th of May. So there we go. You'll notice it gets a nice little cake. I have to remember to make sure always get her a nice peanut butter cake for her birthday. Now, let's say I was actually not really me. Wow, that didn't sound right. The client was working, or I'm working with a different agent in my place. So I'm trying to reach out with them and say, hey, I saw this property the other day. I'm going to just grab an address and I'm just going to put some numbers in here and see what happens if I go to that. So I can find different ones in different areas. Now, here's one thing that might have been an issue. The MLS I'm with is the Northwest Multiple Listing Services. That's in Washington State. If you'll notice the other one's Colorado, just from the numbers I put in. If I had tried to grab one that was outside of my MLS, it would not have worked. So let's just grab that and then find out it's not on my chosen MLS. So now I look silly. Let me go over and get one that works. Bear with me just a second here while I get an MLS ID. This place is for sale, so that should work. So you can do it by address. Let me do it by address first. I'm going to put in 4038 Latona Ave, Northeast Seattle, Washington. And there you go. It's bringing in the information about this property, the price, 4 beds, 5 baths, 2550 square feet, the date it was listed, and the MLS ID. Now, I can save this as a property insight. Now, I'm going to also show you that if I were to do it by MLS ID, put that in and do the search, here you go. So you have 2 ways to bring this information in. So let's just say I'm interested. So I'm going to let my agent is going to pull this in to my client record. Now I have an interest in this specific location. One of the things this helps right off the bat is I have now told my agent specific criteria that I want. 4 beds, 5 baths, a rough square footage that I'd be happy in, even the specific road address and style. And then I can see the style. Now, this information comes directly from the MLS. So anytime it updates on the MLS, it'll change here. So let's say they've been on the market since the 15th. So that's only what, yesterday. So I don't think the price is going to change right off the bat. But let's say the price went down to 1.5 million instead of 1.575 million. The MLS would be updated, and then it would update here in Top Producer. You wouldn't have to do anything at all. But let's just say that this meets all of my criteria. I want to put in an offer. So let's make an offer. And since I'm making an offer, my agent needs to make a transaction. I can just click this button right here, and instantly I have a transaction. All I have to do is update the property type. Transaction status is right there. I do have to give myself my agent needs to give himself a percentage. I don't know if 10's good or if it's just reaching too high, but then we do that. And now I have a transaction. So we go back over here, and there you go. You can see the transaction is there as well as the property insights. Now that I've created a transaction, I need to add some tasks to myself. So let's apply a plan. Sorry, I'm going a little bit fast there. When you want to do it, you go to tasks here, and then up here is apply plan. So those task plans that we created before, let's add that on. Now I all of a sudden have all these tasks to show up. Now, if I want to see what all is on the plan itself, I can see here, and I can see everything that's associated with it. Another great advantage is I can add some notes on this one. So let's just say I hit the wrong button, and we'll go back over here. But that's a great way. That's the second time I've made that mistake, so I need to remind myself. This button here says learn more. That doesn't help you add a note. It does tell you how to learn how to add notes and what notes are for, but pressing on the button that says add note will work a lot better. So let's make a note. Put in an offer. Waiting on response. I can now save that note. All of my notes for this client record will show up on this screen. On my dashboard one, the one at the top, you're going to see the most recent notes show up here. And you can see that the last action was made a note. So this is going to help you cover all the boxes of the things you need to do. You've found a property, you've been able to create a transaction out of that property because they were that interested and it was one that was available. You've set up a task plan on it. You can even just set up an actual task to set up an appointment for the showing. We'll set that for today and let's say, I meant to say 30. Why did that not let me do 30? There we go. 11. Now let's call that 12. 12 p.m. because I don't want to be doing something like that at 12 in the morning. Doesn't repeat my contact, and I'll assign this to the actual agent that's doing it, and then save task. This task will save, and then it's all ready to go. You'll notice I don't see it here because I've got just assigned to me. If I check out the assigned agent, I can see it. If I want to see all, I can see ones that are assigned to me and ones that are assigned to that agent. The reason it showed up to me, even though that the assigned to was the other agent, is because I'm under my account. I would have need to change these over to be to the assigned agent. But that'll help keep everything in line, keep you connecting with your clients, and make sure that nothing is missed. Honestly, the best advantage of a CRM is just keeping everything organized, keeping your database up to date, and keeping your clients connected and communicated with. The better organized the database is, the more accurate it is, the less time you actually have to spend using your database. And as odd as it sounds, we sell these programs to get you into the ability of not having to be in the program that often. A good working CRM does not have to be accessed as much, maybe once or twice a day. But the benefit is you can, again, access it on any device you have. I'm showing you on my computer. You can check it out on your tablet as well. You can check it out on your smartphone. All you have to do is go to crm.topproducer.com. On the browser of any of those devices, the website is optimized to be seen and used on all of them. That way, if you're on the road and let's say you get a hankering for a Starbucks or a Dunkin' Donuts coffee, while you're swinging in there waiting for the order to come up, you could even click onto your follow-up coach while you're in the restaurant, wait for your drinks to be ready and do a quick follow-up. Another way just to take care of your clients. So that would be that. Now, I have this other page here. I'm going to jump over to it really quickly. And I'm going to turn off the hiding of the top just to show you the address here. Very cool thing we have set up is as we call it, our Top Producer Campus. So let me just get rid of the rest of this and we'll go to the main screen. At support.topproducer.com, you can see all of our self-help information. A lot of things are frequently asked questions, and we might have a guide to it already. We have some getting started guides, specific how-to guides, a video library that is mainly geared towards Top Producer X and how everything is organized in that and how it works. And from here, again, you can chat with our support team. Anytime you need to get that help, please feel free to reach out to our team. We're always happy to help you. You'll also notice, as many of you are probably directed or found, the webinar schedule is here to be found. Next week is a pretty cool week of awesome webinars, what with our normal getting started with Top Producer X and our 4 things to know after you've set it up on Tuesday and Thursday of next week. Also, we have a couple for anybody who may have used Top Producer 8i in the past, a way to go from 8i up to X, the benefits and also the setup. So a couple of little extra helpful things that we got coming your way. Any of the information you need, you can get from up here. You can even click on the chat now over here. A couple of other places to find information out about our software and our services. We have a blog, topproducer.com/blog. This is updated frequently with industry information. We also get a lot of great ideas from other agents, and with their permission, we share it with other people. It's a great community that helps each other out. Yes, I know at the same time you're also fighting for that commission check, but you guys are great on how you look after each other. Every video we do, every webinar we do, does get uploaded to our YouTube channel as well. So you can watch it again at a later time if you want. If you go to youtube.com/topproducersoftware, you'll be able to see all of our videos. And lastly, we have a Facebook user group at facebook.com/group/topproducersoftware. You can go there and you can communicate with us or other realtors. You can ask questions for support help and even just see updates and new information we have for the software. And that comes to the end of our presentation. And look at that, Marvin, I made it under an hour. I'm getting this timing down well. And we do just like to try to keep it under an hour because we know you guys are busy and we appreciate the hour that you are able to spend with us. So we don't want to take up too much of your time. So again, we thank you very much for your time today. We look forward to your continued success and being a part of it to help you out along the way. If you do need help, again, please reach out to our support team. Monday to Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 10:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I can't do the math for the rest of the time zones. I just have those 2 memorized. So hopefully those ones fall in and work for you. Anytime in between those areas should be able to assist you. And again, for something that's not mission critical, feel free to reach out to our support team at support@topproducer.com and do allow them 24 to 48 hours to get back to you. So I do hope that was helpful. Again, thanks, Marvin. I appreciate that. I do hope that we have answered any questions you might have, or at least given you a direction to find the answer to what you're looking for. Please feel free to reach out to us or come and check out our other videos or even our self-help over at support.topproducer.com. And again, I thank you for your time with us today. I appreciate you giving me this hour to have a chance to show off our software. Anytime, Michael, it is sincerely my pleasure to chat with you folks and to be able to help. We really look forward to giving you guys the software you want. And I'll give you one last thing that I like to tell people before we leave. There's a button here in Top Producer called Feedback. I'm going to click on it twice because I like to tell people I've abused my Top Producer so much that it sometimes needs to be kicked a little bit now and then. Clicking on Feedback here does allow you to send information to our developers on what we can do to improve the software. You can make a suggestion or search to see if a suggestion is in there. And if you see one you like, go ahead and I'm going to click on texting for Canadians because I'm Canadian. Click on that. If you put a thumb on it, it puts more people looking forward to getting this. Right now, as you can see, 61 people want it. The more people that look onto that and put the information in, the more chance it gets higher up into the list that our developers are looking at. So please feel free, tell us what we need, tell us what we need to do right, tell us what we're doing wrong. We'll do what we can to make the best software possible for you. So with that, again, thank you very much for your time. I hope you two have a great rest of your day. And Marvin, thank you for spending this hour with me and throwing up those links up in the chat. One day I might get you to go on video and be a good co-host like that. No guarantees, but we'll see. All right, everybody, take care. Have a great day. And as one of my friends would say, happy selling. Bye for now.